I'm Jillian Wolgemuth, member of the U.S. Women's National Team defender. Recently experienced an ACL injury and now I'm working through some rehab just before the Olympic Games here. It's going well. It's obviously been like a really tough process and really emotionally difficult, but I'm enduring it and doing just fine and learning a lot and growing a lot, and really enjoying watching our team play the last couple of days here in the Olympics. Even before, but after I posted the article on Fan or Female Athlete News, so many people have just reached out, friends, family, but also some that I have never met before, and sent me messages about struggles they've gone through and like similar experiences. And it's been really cool to just connect with those athletes and just like let them know, like, hey, it sucks. You question why me, why now? It does happen and it's okay, and we'll learn and grow from this. So thank you, everyone who's shown me support. It's been unbelievable.
She's here in the States. I'm here in the States. We wish we were in Paris. Game one, Argentina, 4-1. We dropped it. What did you see?
Yeah, a couple different things. I think first off, it's the first game. So both teams, whether you have Olympic experience or not, you kind of have to take a couple minutes to work your way in. And I think that was really apparent with our team, the first 15, the first quarter. Just probably making a couple like too conservative or maybe too risky errors at times. That's kind of counterintuitive, but I guess just not playing at our full strength and confidence yet. But I think as the game developed, we really started to work into it and gave them a nice game. I think to be expected, we did not think we were going to go out and dominate that match. Like, we're realistic. We know that we can beat them. But I think we also know they're an incredibly talented team. So I think we could have exploited them a little bit better. We could have kind of used some of the style that they play against them a little bit more and used our strengths. And I don't think we quite did that, which I think I'm disappointed. I'm sure they're disappointed about that as well. And I think there's a couple of things defensively we could have done and just been a little bit stronger in. But overall, we put together a good performance, and it was an all right first Olympic appearance. I think Meredith's shoulder in the center played really strong, just getting the ball turning, rolling with it and finding the next pass. So I really enjoy seeing her be the player that she is, and obviously has tons of growth left, but just really crushed it in the center. And then a common theme is just Kelsey dominating the backfield. Even I'm sure we'll get to Spain, but she just has such a dominating presence. I could honestly think of every single player. Ellie Hamill just controlling the outlet. Yeah, I know there was a couple forwards who had some really nice shots, and I can't remember the specifics right now. But yeah, overall, Mayer crushed it. Kelsey.
Brooke was down and stuck. She was trapped by two defenders, and she did a 3D pop right on over, and
Yeah.
she got the ball. And I was just like, yeah, there you go. And I agree with you. Like, Ashley Hoffman, I felt like her yogi came out. She was deep in her 23 defensively, and she like stalled out three defenders because they did not know what she was doing. And you could tell that she like took a breath and thought about it and moved on to the next play. So the Spain game, I think all of us can say that's a little bit more of USA's style of play. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we have not, or at least I in my tenure have not played Spain in the last 3 or 4 years. I don't think we've matched up with them. But we definitely are a little bit closer to them in the rankings. And I think our styles match up quite well. They're really scrappy, young, a little bit unconventional. But I definitely actually, I really thought Ash stood up this morning and played a great defensive game. Just the calm composure you don't realize until you're in that moment when there's six girls coming at you trying to score, and you just have the just mental fortitude to be like, okay, I'm just going to stop the ball, pull it, and get out. And that's definitely one of her strengths, to act quickly but act calmly. And she did that brilliantly today. And it's funny that you mentioned Brooke with the one-on-one skills. That's something that I know personally, has been working on a ton in trainings the last year. Just, okay, I'm stuck in this spot. How can I get out of this situation? And she's really starting to show that those efforts are paying off.
How did you feel about just that transition? Like Ashley on that end line. I mean, you couldn't have been any closer to it going in
Oh gosh.
at the pace and then turning around. How did you feel like that transition was managed?
I mean, it's brilliant. That's like textbook USA, what we're trying to go for. We're trying to create obviously fast breaks. And if we don't have it, we'll slow it down. But if we can take it, we want to use it. And then just the composure to stop the ball, find the pass, and then also the composure throughout the field, the whole way up the line, just to find the next simple pass and then finish that ball. I forget who it was on the back post. Was it Sessa on the back post that put it away? Oh no, it was
Yeah,
Bia. It
yeah,
was Bia.
yeah.
Thea just on the back post to put it away. The cross was quite nice. And just to put in the back of the net is huge.
Yeah, Sessa put it in against Argentina. And I did want to go back and ask you about that. So, like in the past, I haven't gone through and dug through all the records, but how often do you score against Argentina? It seems to me like it's starting to become a norm. In the past, it wasn't.
The interesting thing about Argentina is I don't want to say that it's like a continental rivalry, but maybe a little bit of that. I don't know if they see us that way, but I think we're starting to see that. We, unlike some of the other maybe like top five teams, we match up well against Argentina. They have a little bit similar of a style to Spain. I think they executed a little bit better, clearly. I mean, they're one of the top in the world, but we've played them so many times, specifically this last year. I mean, we had a 5 match test series against them. They weren't capped matches, but only a couple months ago. And I think after playing them routinely, we're like, oh, we might not be dominating this team, but we can absolutely hang with this team. And that little piece of confidence that you can take with that and take into a tournament is huge. So that definitely, I think, lifted our expectations of that match, hoping that we could take a win home. So definitely disappointed there. But the more we play those matches against the top teams and just realize, hey, even though we lost today, we did some really great things. And there's opportunity to win these matches in the future.
Argentina, circle penetration 34-17 US, and we still found the cage. Penalty corners for Argentina, 7, and for the US, 7. So, what does that tell us?
Yeah, I like to start with the defensive end, obviously being a defender. So our goal with them, one-on-one defense, they're incredibly good at one-on-one. Obviously, you have Granada up there. You have so many of their forwards that just are great with their stick skills. So our ability just to defend our feet, we talk about not giving away cheap corners. We don't want to give them anything, make them earn it. And so I think the fact that we held them to well, 7 isn't amazing, but I'm happy to hold them to just 7 corners. We know that Gorzolani's a threat. She's such a good drag flick. We don't want to give her the opportunity to put that on cage. And then that's great. Defensive DPC, our defensive penalty corner unit. I think they only scored 1 off of PCs, that's pretty good. 1 out of 7. We're happy with that ratio. Obviously, we'd love to keep it to 0, but that's a world-class drag flick. And then on the opposite end, to earn 7, we always talk about get in the circle, find an outcome. It can be a goal, it can be a corner. Don't necessarily care. Just make sure we utilize that moment and get something out of it.
Spain, it was 19 circle penetration, US 9. Penalty corner, Spain 11 with that spate of how like 7 in a row, and
Yeah.
USA 2, and we tied 1-1. Your take on that?
Yeah, I think the girls, and I haven't had the chance to talk to them, and I don't want to speak for them, but I think if I was there, I would be a little bit disappointed with not finding quite enough midfield play in order to get more circle entries. I think we know that we can get more circle entries and we can make it dangerous more. But I mean, to hold them to 1 goal with 19 circle entries, and I was so proud of them after that. I think it was, like you said, like a 7 corners at back to back to back to hold down the fort and not let one in there. That just speaks to how much preparation our goalkeepers, all of them, Kelsey Bing, but also Jenny Rizzo and Kelsey Robles put
Yeah.
into that defensive penalty corner unit, and just the number of reps and care that we put into that is showing through there. So I'm super proud of that.
All right, now looking at Australia. So that's on deck, and you've seen Australia. How you feeling?
Yeah, Australia is very strong. There's no doubts about them. We definitely respect them as an opponent. They play fast, direct, forward. They want to go straight to goal. They're definitely a threat. At the same time, we've seen them. We beat them last year in Pro League. We took them to shootouts. And I think if we can pull them to a tie or try to get a couple goals in and win the match, it's definitely on the tables. We need to respect their game plan and know how to get through with it. But I think for the most part, we have a really good shot against Australia to make a run with it and put it up there. I think the most important part about this next game, again, I'm not in the game plan meetings. I don't know necessarily what the coaches are saying, but I think it's going to be really important for us to stick to our roots, which is strong defensive structure. Defend the house, defend the half, and then when we have our opportunities, take advantage of them.
I know you're not in the huddle, but if you were in the huddle and you had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 body going in against you, corner after corner after corner, what do you think the conversation was like to settle emotions? Because after that, there was like a 7-minute run where they didn't allow them into their defensive 23, and the game was mostly played between the two 23s, if not advantageous for US.
Yeah. I think the talk is just do your role, stay in the moment. That's a lot of what we talk about. We don't want to try to come up and come out of yourself and do too much. You know your job and trust your teammates to do theirs. And I think once you do defend those corners back to back and back, that's such a bout of confidence that you take into that next stretch, like you said. And for sure, it showed. You got to, now that we've defended, let's have some fun with the ball. So let's make possession passes. Let's not turn it over. And I think they showed that and did that well. I really wish, especially when we had the man down, we could have utilized it a little better. But it's fine. It's hard to utilize that extra man up. It's harder than you think, especially when teams are so talented and know how to defend against it. We say celebrate the little wins, especially when you're in pro league and you're playing the top 9, top 5 teams in the world again and again and again. You're not going to get a lot of big victories. You're not going to get a lot of goals in the net. So you got to celebrate the little wins. That might even be we call it cheese and trap, but defending a 2v1, so 2 defenders and 1 attacker, and just working as a team to figure that situation out. After you win that ball and come up with it, play like really good disciplined defense, you're like, let's go. We crushed it. We did the simple outlet the ball and move on. So it's just finding the joy in those little moments of playing really good hockey. Honestly, that's one of the things I miss the most about being sidelined right now. The passion and the drive that you get from those moments is just unmatched. And yeah, it's really fun. That's where you find the joy. Our team can't not have joy. We're a silly group. I have so much respect for every one of them, but we're a silly group, and we find ways to be professional and have a blast with it. So I'm sure that they're still having a blast with it.